we have some mail. We have had some mail for some time, and we haven't had a chance to open it for y'all. So we're gonna do that. This is somewhat emblematic of how long we've been meaning to do a mailbag. We got a dinosaur advent calendar. This was sent to us before Advent. This is from Gary W. Enjoy all your YouTube videos. Hope you have a great holiday and keep the shows coming. Thank you. Is there an expiration date on this? No, apparently this is not food, so there's no reason that we couldn't just use this for next year's Advent, or this year's Advent properly. I'm moderately horrified by their faces, though. Like, thank you for sending it, but I don't like the way they're looking at me, you know? Especially that Pteranodon. Just up there like, eh. Also, missed opportunity to have Santa Claus's sleigh being pulled by like Nyctosaurus or something. That's what I would do. We have a number of parcels from one of our patrons, Monswine, which are specifically for the next video we're doing, which if you haven't heard is Aguanodon. But he's apparently quite excited for this episode and has sent me a variety of toys to show the stages that we went through in representing this animal. Starting with literally just an iguana. A rhinoceros iguana, specifically. Which I've never seen one with... This one has 3 horns. I don't know that I've seen a photo of a real one with 3 horns. Usually it's like 1 big horn, maybe 1 little horn, and then a bunch of littler bumps. But yeah, the earliest restorations, the earliest artwork is sort of a mosasaur with legs, but then there are also like constant references in the literature to, well, you know, in the iguana, such and such happens. So it seems that workers were looking at iguanas, and obviously like the name Iguanodon is because of the similarity to the teeth. So I don't want to go into too much detail because, you know, we're going to do an episode on it. Suffice to say, it makes sense to include an iguana in the sequence. Also from Monswine, we have a... Right! We have a Shapeways Prince, I assume. I'm not exactly sure how this was manufactured. It might be cast. But it's a... Oh, the plating is coming off a little bit. It's a Crystal Palace Iguanodon. This is the 1851 through 2 model. And the one more or less responsible for kicking off the popularity of dinosaurs. As envisioned by Benjamin Waterhouse Hawkins. We're going to have a lot to say about this one, even though I was surprised to learn this particular interpretation did not age well. Like, this was only current thinking for a couple of years. And finally, one more from Monswine. I don't know whether to call this a Louis Dolo or a Zdenek Burian model Iguanodon. It's got the sort of this particular like stance and overall shape where it's just a big scalene triangle is something that you see in like the 1950s and onward. Well, maybe the 40s, arguably. But yeah, the bipedal scaly kangaroo look is partially Waterhouse Hawkins' fault, but it was really codified by Dolo's museum mounts. And we have correspondence. Ah. Dear Stephen, Liz, Bertrand, and Zoom, how are you doing? I hope all is well, given the circumstances. I accidentally shipped this toy to myself, but it has given me the chance to include this little message to you all. Your show has been a highlight since the moment I stumbled upon it years ago. I'm incredibly happy and proud to support the show in every way I can. This is 19... What? Hang on. He included a typewritten version, which I'm going to refer to now. Oh, that is a 7. Okay. This is 1970s vintage Starlux Iguanodon figure. Apparently came with a little slip of paper describing the dinosaur. He included a picture of that paper and its English translation. Okay. So it's like a monster weighing 7 tons, 5 meters tall, and 7.5 meters long. Lived in Europe and North Africa, could move very quickly. You don't usually see that, at least from, well, 70s. We were starting to understand that dinosaurs were active animals in the 70s, so that makes sense, I suppose. Kind of surprising to see it in a toy. Monswine writes, once again, the show you put on is an absolute delight. Thank you so much for putting it on and giving us a peek into the behind the scenes of it all. P.S. Sorry about the Barney. That was you? If you can't tell, we pre-opened the packages, and I was wondering what was going on with the Barney. Okay, so collect them all. We've got the Crystal Palace. So far, we have the Crystal Palace, the Iguana, the 1970s one, and then, oh, I know what that is. This one was shipped from Belgium. This one's cool. I mean, they're all cool, but this one is especially cool. It is a replica, actual size as far as I can tell, of an Aguanodon thumb spike, the Pollex, the first manual digit ungule. I think it's supposed to be the right, looking at the way it curves. It's kind of hard to tell, hang on. Looking at the way it curves, I think it's the right thumb. Correct me if I'm wrong. But you will notice that it is enormous. I have only recently gained an appreciation for just how big Iguanodon's hands were. Well, I mean, the whole animal is 10 meters long, but that number is hard to visualize. But then you realize, oh, its hand is the size of a frying pan. And it had a spike the size of a, I don't know, what would I compare this to? A hatchet, I guess? Some kind of pickaxe? I'm going with pickaxe. It's hefty, too. Apparently this is resin, some kind of plastic cast. It's got some heft. It was constructed by Inhuman Species, who have an Etsy store. And there's only like 2 of these left. And I suppose we'll find the Barney when we find it. So for now, thank you, Monswine. Next we have this creatively packaged contribution from Javin of Utah, but he decided to package it. I had a bit of trouble cutting into it along the dotted lines that he indicated, but the reason he did that is so that I could do this. And it's attached to the base like a... Oh, read me first. Okay then. Dear Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong. Hello, Stephen and gang. I am a simple fan of your show and really love dinosaurs. I have been interested in dinosaurs ever since I was a little child. I really enjoyed your YouTube video about the Giraffatitan branchi and decided to sculpt one. This particular sculpture, he made this? This particular sculpture is a 1/400th scale Giraffatitan and I did my best to get as much detail as I could into such a small piece. No kidding. I figured not many dinosaur collections have a dinosaur this scale, and it would be fun for you to have one in yours. I hope you like it. Your friend, Multimedia Master. Well, thank you. I genuinely thought that this was like something that was, you know, die-cast or something like that. He made this. That's really impressive. And he even... Okay, how do I get it off the base without destroying it? Haha! Man. He even accurately portrayed how wide the head is. He got the derp face of Giganotosaurus correct. That's really impressive. I could not do that. I've mentioned this before, I don't have the dexterity for really minute little stuff. That's awesome. Next, from, or I don't know if this is from Martin Gill or just shipped from such a person. We have a we have a very literal duck bill. It is from Martin. Hello, Stephen, and hello to the rest of the Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong team. My girlfriend and I discovered this show during quarantine and were immediately hooked. I've loved dinosaurs ever since I was a kid, and I spent a lot of days playing with a great many, now completely inaccurate, dinosaur toys in my parents' garden. I've even seen a few of those toys on the show. This toy here I stumbled upon at the dollar store just recently, and when I saw its upright posture, forward-facing eyes, and literal duck bill, yeah, that struck me as well. I immediately thought of you guys. I left the tag on just to prove that it is in fact intended to be a dinosaur, though what dinosaur exactly I cannot say. I didn't find any label on the tag or the toy itself. Oh yeah. And I even tried looking up the manufacturer and gotten nowhere. I assume it's supposed to be some sort of hadrosaurid, but as to which specific genus of hadrosaur, feel free to take your pick, whatever makes the best episode. Love your show, Martin. P.S. Below is my own rendition of a Utahraptor that I drew a few years ago. Any quick notes on how I could make it more accurate? And he's drawn a... He's drawn a Utahraptor with a feathery crest and a feathery tail fan. I mean, the first thing that jumps out at me is that the proportions are a little out of date. You've basically just got a scaled up Deinonychus or whatever. Deinonychus, sorry. And it turns out that Utahraptor was much bigger headed and more robust than popular depictions have been showing them. I also noticed that you've done the not uncommon mistake of not having any feathering on the fingers themselves. The wing would extend onto the hand and the fingers. It's hard to tell. I think you've also pronated the hands downwards, which they could not do. But nice artwork overall. Oh, postscript. My girlfriend and I have been pronouncing Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong, the YDAW as YDAW, and I just have to know if you guys have heard anyone else pronounce it that way before. I can't say that I have, because it totally should be pronounced that way. I've never said it as, what do you call that, when it's an acronym but you say it as a word, like scuba? Is scuba an acronym? Laser? Laser's a good one. But no, I just say Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong when I see YDAW. But I guess if I had to, I would say it YDAW. But I might be weird in that respect. I don't know what this would be. I guess like Edmontosaurus would be the obvious pick. Or maybe if you want to go classic with it, like a Trachodon. This is where I find out Trachodon isn't valid anymore. In fact, that wouldn't even surprise me. But thank you, Martin. A box with a little bit of heft to it. Oh, there it is. This is moderately cursed. It looks like it was out in a abandoned playground for 20 years. I don't think we had a Barney, now that you mention it. We had a Cheezosaurus Rex somewhere. The mascot from the macaroni and cheese. I don't think we had a Barney. Though, I've always assumed Barney is supposed to be a Tyrannosaurus. This is from Kerry. I can't be more specific than the United Kingdom. This is very cleverly packaged. Little strut of paper. There we go. It's, what animal is this supposed to be? Is this like a Hylaeosaurus? Dear Stephen and Liz, my dinosaur is very, very wrong. We discussed it on Discord some time ago, and Polacanthus emerged as the best guess. Oh, that's... I guess? It's like Polacanthus drawn by somebody who had only ever seen a Stegosaurus. Or sculpted, I guess, in this case. Based on a particular, very outdated reconstruction, which resembled this toy. But really all I can say for certain is that it's a Thybreophoran. Fair. Yeah. I suspect the toy may be a little small to be the focus of an episode, but I send it to you for your entertainment, and would love to know what you think it actually is. I hope you're both well. Best wishes, Carrie. Thank you, Carrie. And I don't know, we've had very small toys be the focus of an episode, like the Parasaurolophus toy and the Tarbosaurus toy were quite small. That is deeply wrong. I don't think we had a Polacanthus of any other... Oh, it's interesting. They went to the trouble of having the arms out like this. Even though otherwise it's a sort of normal upright stegosaur type stance. We have correspondence with some artwork on the envelope with an updated Spinosaurus with its tail spines. To the team at Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong. Hi, my name is Tucker, and I'm a huge fan of dinosaurs and other forms of prehistoric life. When I was a kid, I got most of my dinosaur knowledge from shows like Dinosaur Trains and Dinosaur Train and Dino Dan. But as I got older, I started watching dinosaur documentaries, such as Walking with Dinosaurs series, Planet Dinosaur, Dinosaur Planet. There's Planet Dinosaur and Dinosaur Planet? I did not know that. Or maybe I did and I didn't realize they were different shows. March of the Dinosaurs and Dinosaur Revolution, as well as other dinosaur media that aren't educational or scientifically accurate, but are still enjoyable to watch. These bits of dinosaur-related media have made a huge impact on me growing up, and I'm always willing to learn more about dinosaurs in my spare time. I like to draw and make videos about dinosaurs. I've also included some of my artwork, along with this letter. Please note that I also drew on both sides of each page, even this one. I'm also a fan of your channel. You make very good content, and please keep up the good work. Well, thank you, Tucker. I drew a mammoth, which is his state fossil, apparently. Oh, Columbian mammoth, specifically. Oh, he has a bunch of art. Hey! I wasn't reacting to what I'm holding up now, although what I'm holding up now is nice. I was reacting to... He drew a Bihatosaurus, which we just talked about recently, indirectly, in relation to Amargasaurus, its relative. But that's a good idea with the coloration, with the zebra stripes sort of accentuating the rocker spines. And a Rubeosaurus, which is probably not a valid genus anymore. That's okay, though. It was a real animal, we just classify it differently. And a Deinonychus. Very nice, Tucker. Thank you. Speaking of people sending their artwork, we received this from Gary Hodges, a lifelong dinosaur nut and someone who moonlights as an indie comic book creator. First off, I wanted to let you know I'm a huge fan of your videos. Secondly, your videos were very important to me when I was drawing my latest comic. It's D versus M. Okay. D versus M 1997, as it includes a couple of species of dinosaur, namely a few Deinonychus and a Styracosaur that I really wanted to get right, or at least not horrifically wrong. I sympathize. I, like you, am frequently peeved by paleo art that is either lazy or playing a little too fast and loose with what we know about dinosaurs' appearances. I used your work and some other sources to come up with reconstructions that were unique, but also, at least to me, an admitted amateur, plausible. As a matter of fact, I feature a quick credited clip of you in one of the making of videos I made for this comic's release. If you search for such and such, you'll find it. You might also enjoy my rant about some contemporary paleo art. As a thank you, I just wanted to fire off a comic to you. I'm not asking for anything in return. This isn't a ploy for a shout out or anything. I just wanted to let you know you've got a fan in me, and thank you. Thanks again, Gary. Somebody had mentioned this to me. I don't remember why they brought it up, but I have heard of this comic before. I believe it stands for Dinosaurs versus Martians. Let me see if I can find a dinosaur. Well, I'm a dozen pages in and there's no dinosaurs yet, Gary. Your ratio of pages to dinosaurs is, well, there's Martians at least. Hey, a dinosaur. Ooh. Yeah, he's got the feathers going all the way up the face, and then only the rostral part of the snout is scaly. Hey, a Styracosaur. Coming in like John Wayne. Very nice, Gary. Thank you. I'm glad we could be of help, apparently. It's like fencing a guy in a robot suit. I like that. I don't know if we can even reproduce his art on the show. I suppose we should have asked. Next up, I think this was drop shipped, so I hope there's a note. There is a note. From Michael. To your Dinosaurs Are Wrong, enjoy this Giganotosaurus toy from Safari Limited. There's more than a Giganotosaurus in here. Oh, and enjoy this Pentaceratops from PayPal. Okay. These are big. Did we not have a Pentaceratops yet? Oh, that's cool. It's rearing. I kind of love Pentaceratops. It's like a caricature of what you expect a ceratopsid to be, with its enormous head and its tiny little tail and its like boxy little body. That's a really neat sculpt. Not sure about those hands. That's neat. Come to think of it, I'm not sure if they could rear. I would have to do research, though. I'm inclined to think they could have, but I'm not sure. Does this bag have an opening? Oh, it has a perforation. Man, this is enormous. Oh, they like cheated. The base is there because the feet are so gracile that it would have been hard to have them to scale and actually support the animal. That's cool though. I'm glad that they went to the effort of getting it to stand, you know, parallel to the ground. This is enormous. Appropriately enough for a Giganotosaurus. Am I saying that right? It's gonna turn out it's Giganotosaurus or Giganoto. How do you say it? Giganotosaurus feels wrong to me, but Giganotosaurus. I definitely misread it as Gigantosaurus more often than I really should. But thank you, Michael. Next, from Nathan. We have a very lizard-like Dimetrodon. We have what I'm going to continue to insist is a Solidosaurus. And we have what I assume is supposed to be a Stegosaurus. All of the hollow, open-mouthed variety. And we have correspondence, if I could open it. There we go. Dear Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong, I am a massive lover of all things extinct animals, dinosaurs very much included, and your channel was one of the first to get me into accurate recreations. I am now absolutely obsessed with learning more about what is currently known about amazing animals. I even plan on making my own figures. Oh, impressive. I am aware you have covered both Stegosaurus and Dimetrodon, but since you've spoken about these awful recreations, I thought you might appreciate them. I also have absolutely no idea what the other is meant to be. Enjoy trying to figure it out. Good luck, Nathan. Well, like I said, we're going to hopefully soon add a little bit more to our Solidosaurus episode, and I'm going to try to justify why I think that the toys that look like this, where they're just sort of uniformly covered in conical spines, I think these are supposed to be Solidosaurus. And they have a reason, but you're going to have to wait to hear what it is. I was about to compliment this for having, you know, put in the effort to have the tips of the spines light-colored and the bases dark-colored, but I think it's just been worn. I think that wasn't manufacturing. I think that was play. But thank you again, Nathan. I do not know who it's from, but it is... I don't know if you can tell through the plastic, but it looks like an Edaphosaurus. Oh, it is an Edaphosaurus. It says it on the label. I have to free it of its restraints. Oh, it's a really nice Edaphosaurus. This is a Collectae. Okay. That's pretty. I'm gonna admit I don't know a whole lot about these animals other than like what they look like. So I don't know if this is accurate or inaccurate. I know that I like the sculpt. It's good quality. And it's got sort of an over-it expression on its face, which I do appreciate. It looks kind of regal. Thank you, whoever sent that. This is from China, so I'm going to assume it's also drop-shipped. Oh, it's a few things. Right. It's a number of pterosaurs. This appears to be a Quetzalcoatlus. It's not labeled, but it's got that head shape. It's not proportioned correctly, but I believe this to be a Quetzalcoatlus. This one, I think, pretty obviously is a Pteranodon. There's no perforation on this bag. Oh, that's weird. They've gone to the trouble, it's in a flying posture, but they went to the trouble of having it fold up its legs, like how a bird folds up its legs in flight. But then they also connected to, oh, it's kind of see-through. They also connected the membrane to the knee, which makes this weird pocket of the non-aerodynamic membrane. Why would they do it this way? Is it supposed to be sitting? Is it supposed to be hanging upside down like a bat? It actually hangs upside down like a bat pretty efficiently, but that theory's been discredited. The whole thing is kind of translucent, actually. This is neat. I've never seen one with, like, display colors on its feet. That's an interesting idea. Usually, you know, the bright colors, well, like on this one, usually the bright colors are reserved for the head and the wings, but I guess there's no reason it couldn't have bright feet. Birds have bright feet, or some birds. Yeah, that's such an awkward pose to put it in. Another Pteranodon, and it's doing it too! Are these all made by the same... Those two don't have a tag on them. Oh, because I tore it off. Okay, these are all made by the same... It's a Dinosaur World dinosaur playset, and none of them are dinosaurs. They're all ornithodira, avametatarsalia, pterosaurs. This one's doing it not as pronounced, but it's still making a weird pocket with its knees where the membrane attaches. Oh, and they put teeth in the bill. It's kind of hard to see. They put teeth in the bill, even though it's Pteranodon, which means toothless wing. It's right in the name, guys. I'm just gonna stab myself in the face with this one, apparently. I'm guessing this is Ornithochirus. It's also not labeled. I'm not sure. Usually when you have a pterosaur that's wrong, the head is undersized. This might be the first example I've seen of one where the head might be oversized. I'm not totally sure. I'm glad that they went to the trouble of having the mouth open and close, and then you can have the teeth actually interlock. That's neat. And they actually, you know, have it posed the way a pterosaur would be in flight, with its legs actually outstretched. And this one appears to be exactly the same thing, except its pinky finger got bent out of shape a little bit. Are these in fact the same toy, just different colors? I think they're just the same toy, different colors. Well, thank you, whoever sent these. They are quite wrong, and all of them in slightly different ways. So we have more pterosaur material when we finally get around to doing a pterosaur. Plus, I do intend to do a follow-up to the Pteranodon video. Next, from Vincent in California. Dear Stephen and Elizabeth, my name is Vincent, and I live in Sacramento, and I am in the 5th grade. I really like your show. I like dinosaurs, and I have for as long as I can remember. Your show has really inspired me to spend a lot of time watching dinosaur documentaries and looking forward to your new videos. So I decided to send you this Giganotosaurus toy, which I got at the Los Angeles Museum of Natural History. Anyway, I've never been to the Los Angeles Museum of Natural History. I should go. Anyway, this is... Oh, is this dinosaur wrong? Would you please make a video about it and send it back? My address is blah. And he included a picture that he drew of Coelophysis. Let me see if I can show this without giving away his address. He drew a Coelophysis for us. Thank you, Vincent. That's 2 Giganotosaurus in the same video. Oh, wow. Is it just a thing for Giganotosaurus toys to be enormous? Again, appropriate, but... Wow. Another impressive one. Oh, its hand is messed up. Oh no, I hope that didn't happen in shipping, since he wants it back. I'm gonna feel real bad if it broke because he sent it to us. This is the Carnegie Giganotosaurus by Safari Limited, 2007. This one has little tiny feet too. Is that just a thing with Giganotosaurus? Do they have really small feet? Or is it just a coincidence that both of these toys have really gracile feet on such a large animal? Oh, I can't put it there. It's going to block. From Laura in Canada, Alberta, Canada. We have what I assume is an Tyrannosaurus scented dinosaur stress toy. I don't know what that smells like. It smells like... Liz, what does this smell like? What? It's familiar, but I don't... Fake butter. It smells like microwave popcorn fake butter. I assume this is correspondence that says, I like how I'm saying you as if you yourself, a dinosaur, are thinking of building a nest, in reference to our Paleo Rewind video. Oh, this is adorable. Can I get it without ripping? I can. We have fan art. It's me teaching some Pterosaurus how to build it. That's really good. And adorable. Well, thank you. I love this. I even got the vegetation right. Thank you, Laura. This is drop shipped. I don't know who from. Ah, this is enormous also. Hey, appropriately enough, it's a Pterosaurus. An outdated... I just can't tear bags today, I guess. An outdated, incorrect, enormous Pterosaurus. Oh, it's not even going to stand for me. Oh, it's supposed to be a biped. Of course it is. Or I guess this is a tripod. Oh, it was standing a minute ago. It looks very surprised by something. Somebody, whoever made this was like, oh, it's the parrot dinosaur. So they just did a parrot beak and stopped there. Admittedly, I assume this dates from a period when we didn't know about the quills and such. Playful home, there's no year on it. Playful home. So many enormous toys. I'm gonna have to start putting them down here. It really does smell like popcorn butter. It's a weird thing to make a dinosaur smell like, though admittedly we don't know what dinosaurs smelled like. They could have all smelled like popcorn butter. Can't prove me wrong. This is from Chuck Beckham. Oh, there's a bunch. We've got an Ankylosaurus, I assume. It's not labeled. Is there correspondence? There isn't. We've got an Ankylosaurus that's articulated. That's kind of rare. I don't remember the last time I saw an Ankylosaurus toy that you could move the appendages. It's wrong, but it's neat that they went to the trouble. Or maybe it's a Euoplocephalus. Play school. It doesn't say what it is. 1987, this toy is older than me. There's a very intense expression. There's some manner of stegosaur. Oh, it's supposed to be a stegosaurus, but they've been more creative than any worker ever was in restoring the Thagomizer. I don't think I've seen... I don't know what I would call that. I don't think I've seen a horn fin on the end of a stegosaurus tail before. Which is weird, because I mean, it's not an old posture for them. You know, they've got the tail straight out, and they've got the sort of dip in the spine going into the head that you would see, you know, 80s vintage Stegosaurus pose. But then they do this to the tail. Oh, there's some other loose animals. We have a... it's an Iguanodon. Fortuitous. And wrong. Although it's kind of cool, they have it portrayed like it's about to get up off of its front legs and start walking on its hind legs. And they did go to the trouble of... that's a pretty accurate Iguanodon head for such a tiny toy to have. The proportions of the animal are off, but that's not a bad head. We've got another Stegosaurus, I assume. Little goblin-looking guy. And a play school, I assume. Yeah, this is similar to that. I think we have a Ceratosaurus that's like this, but this is the Triceratops. Eventually we'll have the complete set if people keep sending these. I don't know that they need to. And 2 still in the package. Wow. A Tianulong toy. I didn't know there were Tianulong toys. I'm probably saying that wrong. But these are the feathered... Are they like basal ceropods or heterodontosaurs? Or basal ceratopsid relatives? They're somewhere in that grouping. Cool. And a Extractors, Tours. Extract, combine, fight online. What? Riptile, the Utahraptor. So it's supposed to be a Utahraptor. Oh, that's kind of weird. Can I get it out of the box? Oh no, I destroyed something. That's exactly what I was trying to avoid. Oh, is it supposed to come apart? I think it's supposed to come apart, so I didn't break it, I think. But I just wanted to show it's a, like, low poly toy. The sculpt is very geometric. It's almost like the style of our show, but rendered in 3D, except that it's wrong, because it's a Utahraptor, supposedly, and it doesn't have any feathers on its arms. I suspect they probably just went with Utahraptor because they were like, what is the biggest raptor? And that's the one that came up in the search. Yeah, pronated hands, too. Neat style, I guess. Did they? Oh no. There's like a seam between the second claw and the rest of the foot. I was wondering if they actually articulated the killing claw, and they didn't. That'd be cool, though. To be able to actually retract the killing claw on a dromaeosaur. That's it from Chuck Peckham. Thank you, sir. Man, we have a lot. This is from Nathan. Hi, your dinosaurs are wrong. I'm a big fan. I'm sending this Sinoceratops from Jurassic World because it's the only pop culture depiction of the genus. The design was originally meant to be a horned Pachyrhinosaurus in the film. Oh, so it's like... People have told me about this. There's a theory that has since fallen out of favor that... at least I think it has, that the nasal boss on Pachyrhinosaurus might have been a more rhinoceros-like horn, where the keratin sheath was a big horn, even though the structure that's on the bone doesn't reflect that. So yeah, I guess making it a Sinoceratops instead isn't the worst decision. I don't know what's going on with its frill with the holes. Is that a pathology? To open up the fenestra skin? I guess it could be. Oh! Huh. When you move the tail, the head moves, and vice versa. Neat. Thank you, Nathan. Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. That's that new cartoon what they made. Next we have... from Michael. Please don't read this aloud. Okay. Well, I have to read a little bit so I know what you sent us. Oh, I'm sorry. He says, don't read this aloud, but it's just this one part. Okay. Hi, Stephen and Liz. I'm typing this letter because I just wanted to say thank you for putting out some of the best stuff on YouTube. Oh, thank you. And because I have the handwriting of serial killer, your show has been one of my favorite resources ever since I got back into prehistory a few years back. I've sent along a couple of species I know you have toys of, but I just had to get them on your show. The cup is from Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park. The yellow Iguanodon is from Invicta, and the Protoceratops plush is based on the character Bix from James Gurney's Dinotopia book series. I really would if you do an episode of Protoceratops, since it's my favorite dinosaur. Stay safe and keep up the great work, Michael. I didn't know they made plushies for Dinotopia. This is adorable. Remember Bix? Oh, they have Dinotopian writing on the top. In the Dinotopia books, the dinosaurs write, well, the three-toed dinosaurs write by stamping in the sand. And Gurney just mapped the 4 footprints to the first 4 letters of the alphabet, and then subsequently it was the first 4 up top and then the next 4 below that. It was just a substitution cipher for English, but it was the first substitution cipher I learned, so it has a special place in my heart, especially since it's dinosaurs. But it's Bix from the books. The interpreter. Was she an interpreter? I'm pretty sure she was. I think they justified, or Gurney justified it as like, it's a parrot lizard, so it can talk like a parrot. Even though Psittacosaurus would have made more sense if you're going to do strictly a parrot lizard. But that's okay. Protoceratops has a parrot-like beak too. I don't think the Protoceratops in the book ever wore a vest, so I'm not sure what that's based on. Though I never read the 4th book that she was in. Maybe she had a vest in that one. This is a cup? What? This is just a statue that you can drink from. How do you... Oh! Huh. What a strange product. And dinosaur. I've never... I understand the creative decisions that went into the Iguanodon for Disney's Dinosaur, but they will never not look like weird alien abominations to me. Having the lips over the beak like they do. This is a weird posture too. He's like sitting up. They articulated the arms on the cup. Sitting up like an old school hadrosaurid. This is a posture that you see in paleo art of Iguanodon from like the 20s, the 1920s, 100 years ago. Here it is on a early 2000s theme park product. Oh. Ooh. This is a neat one. It smells like the Field Museum. I associate this particular kind of plastic with those, you put in a quarter and you get, or several quarters, and you get a like plastic mold that it made for you right then. I forget what those are called, but it smells like those. I like this. This is a cool depiction. It's dragging its tail, and it's wrong, but it's a very like mid-century Iguanodon where it's all beefy. That's a really neat sculpt. What does it say? I cannot read that. Something museum. British Museum of Natural History, 1980. 1980? That's the year that we revised the stance of Iguanodon and made it, you know, horizontal to the ground and stuff. I guess that it would have taken them a little bit to, you know, update their production. That's cool. Man. We have so many Aguanodon now. Last box, I think. And it's a large box. There's an envelope that just says Dino S'mores. This is from Douglas and Gaylord. I've been an avid viewer of the show for a few years now, and after eventually finding the YouTube channel that the show now calls home, I realized I have very tismy dinosaur sculpts that need your attention. These dinosaurs I have sent you are the result of me wanting to look for a very specific and very entertainingly wrong dinosaur toy. It then spiraled into an adventure, resulting in me finding a bin of dinosaurs I never remembered playing with, despite some of them having my initials branded on them, and working with my family to begin the great excavation of our basement. These dinosaurs comprise what is likely to be the first of a few waves of dinosaurs to be sent in from our basement loot hoard. Okay. The crowning jewel of which will be the original toy I desire to send. I won't divulge what manner of eldritch aberration it looks like, but let's just say despite its appearance, it's not quite an Iguanodon. Now let me list off the dinosaurs I've included in this package. A Parasaurolophus, an Allosaurus, a Tyrannosaurus rex, a Protoceratops and a Pterosaurus, an Ankylosaurus, an Oxalia. Most likely a Spinosaurus, but it never specified, so Brazil. Okay, so it's probably a Spinosaurus, but he's calling it an Oxalia. A Solidosaurus and two Dilophosaurus. Many of these dinosaurs are ones you've done before, and I sent them in knowing that you want to redo many of those old episodes. True. But I hope someone sends you a Eustreptospondylus at some point, because that name deserves attention. In closing, this letter, what's your opinion on trilobites? I, for one, hope they turn out to be another Lazarus taxa, though the odds of them having survived the Great Dying, let alone the KT, is rather slim, considering they have one sole genus from the Permian, if I remember correctly. One last thing, can you say the following for me? Glory be yours, Yonk the Barbarian. I don't know who that is, but I hope he has glory, or she. Good health and safe travels, Douglas and Gaylord. Oh, this is big. That's a very lizard-like Ankylosaurus. I've never seen them, like, air this far on the side of a lizard. Like, usually there's sort of a floor to how wrong you can get with an Ankylosaurus, because they are such unique animals, but they tried. It's very turtle-like, the face is, anyway. Very turtle-like. That's a big Dilophosaurus. I think these are all going to be gigantic. They've just made an Allosaurus with an unusually long neck and some loafs on its head. Which I guess is kind of what a Dilophosaurus is, if you squint, but... This is just going to fill the table, but that's okay, because we're almost done. What? This is like the swamp thing. We've got I've seen Pterosaurolophus with the membrane back here before, but to have such a little tiny crest on it with such a giant gaping mouth. It's a little gremlin of a toy. 1979. It's a there's an Oxalia. Look at his face. Oh, those little baby ones, or little tiny ones. We've got a very tiny Triceratops and a less tiny... I already forgot what he wrote. Some manner of dromaeosaur. Oh, what? What? The belly says Dilophosaurus, but it's clearly I don't know, a Deinonychus or something, you know? Something with a killing claw, and clearly not two crests on its head. What? I'm guessing Allosaurus? Yep, Allosaurus. That's classic. Smaller head than it should have, smaller arms than it should have. Tripodal pose. Hey! It's like what are the bad guys in Predator? I think they're just called Predators, Steven. Fine. It's like a Predator, Styracosaurus. They went to the trouble of like having the larger tubercles interspersed among the rest of the tubercle pavement on the skin, so that's neat. Probably completely accidental that it's accurate, but you never know. This one, another one with a kind of a serene look on its face. I like how ramrod straight the neck is on this guy. No curvature at all. What in the world? What? This is supposed to be a Solidosaurus. It looks like some kind of Iguanodon toy. Is this like the quote-unquote Dilophosaurus over here? Did they just put completely wrong label on a toy? Or did they really think that this was a reasonable way to restore Solidosaurus? It's a neat-looking dinosaur. Like, if this were I don't know, a Camptosaurus or something, I would be like, oh, neat. Wrong, but neat. But with Solidosaurus, I'm just baffled. And then there's this overly caffeinated fellow, who I assume is supposed to be is a Tyrannosaurus. Well, thank you everyone for making me laugh and feel awkward about your toys. I hope this was enjoyable. I am sorry that it took us so long to get to all of your parcels, but I am glad that we got to share this experience with you.